It's the Sumo Show, the podcast that discusses everything that's going on in Japanese Grand Sumo. Whether you've been steeped in sumo lore since the Heisei era, like me, Stan, or you're a dedicated fan who wants to get deeper into what's happening on and off the dohyo, like our good friend Troy, or you're brand new to the world of sumo and just want to learn what it's all about. No matter how much you know about the sport, the Sumo Show has something for you. So let's throw some purifying salt into the ring, do a few big Shiko foot stomps, and see what's new on this week's episode of the Sumo Show. So konnichiwa, everyone, and Okaidi. Welcome back to my co-host Troy.
Howdy do.
Hey, wait, I think I could do that better. Oh no, we're live. We're live. Okay, good.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. So it's been a hot minute.
It's been the usual 6 weeks between Basho since we've been here on air, but we're back and getting ready for the Kyushu Basho, the last grand tournament of the year.
That's right, and a lot has happened in that 6 weeks.
Yes, it's been a very busy 6 weeks.
Yes.
Not only did they didn't have the usual fall tour, the fall exhibition tour, because they went to London. They did. They went and did a 5-day exhibition tournament at the Royal Albert Hall a couple of weeks ago, and that was all kinds of big news about that.
Yeah,
in London.
Yeah, all kinds of big news about that, and then some other news. I mean, like just general sort of like, people being promoted and people retiring, and we've got entrances and exits, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we had a few. We had one retirement in particular that happened this week. Seemed to come out of there, and one name change in the top division.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, lots going on. And all that in preparation for a big tournament.
It's really it's shaping up. There's a lot of smoke, a lot of stuff going on.
A
lot of action.
Indeed. And the banzuke, the ranking sheet for this tournament, was released on Monday of this week. So we're here as usual to go over that. And to, kind of start our thinking about who we're going to pick for the Fantasy Oyakata game. Oh, you know what? I need to... So, say right now, the form is up and live, but I didn't copy the link right now. So I'm going to have to look it up so we can share it.
Yeah. We want to do that for sure. And then what's the... We want everyone to get their submissions in...
Yes, by the 8th, noon on the 8th.
Noon on the 8th.
November. Not tomorrow, which is Saturday, the following Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Fantasy Oyakata.
a little early for that, but okay, sure.
Why not? I mean, we're talking about it,
It's never too early for Fantasy Oyakata.
That's right. A very storied competition where I know. How did I do last time? I'm trying to remember. I think I did.
Neither you nor I did great last time.
But not the worst, right? Or was I actually the worst?
Neither one of us was the worst.
Well,
let me see. I can open this up and have a look. Why would you not do that for me? Oh, come on. Cancel that. And what happens? Man, suddenly nothing wants to work right.
Well, it always waits until the show starts, and
that's how it goes.
How it goes awry.
Open a new tab. That'll be good. Open a new tab. That helps us, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
It does. You can't see any of this, but it helps me as I open up the sheets and I go to our Fantasy Oyakata and I can look at our last game. And the
Welcome to
last game.
narrating Google.
What? Oh,
I said,
narrate. Yeah.
welcome to narrating Google Sheets with Stan.
It's awesome. So in the last tournament,
We're gonna take a look at it, or are you gonna?
I can share it. I can share it.
Yeah,
I can do that.
I believe in you.
If I come down here right now, if I could pull this up, we got the banzuke, which we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
But I can switch that.
Sorry to call an audible.
So right, you know what? It's what keeps it fresh.
That's right. Keeps you on your toes.
What happens if I do this? There we go. All right, so this was the results from last time.
Hey, okay. All right. So I wasn't the worst. I was close to the worst.
You were down there.
Yeah. The playa Heya did not do real well.
And I was, well, I got the third highest score, but that put me in 5th place.
Because we had some real, we had some people bring it this time around.
That's right. That's right.
Some good stuff.
So yeah. That's what it looked like the last time. We can see our list of all-time champs is getting longer as new people are getting added on there.
Yeah. So you want to once we surface that link for you, we will send it to your or we'll give it to you, and then you fill it out, and you know, put your name in the ring.
It's for sure right now, even as I'm talking, I posted it to the Facebook group.
Yeah.
So
so people are signing up now.
So if you go to the Facebook group,
which you can do,
which I believe we have one of those, you'll find a post where I talked about the fact that the Fantasy Oyakata game entry form was available already.
I like it when it's early. I'll pop over there and grab it. But it's fun. It's really fun. I find that it is really deep into my understanding of and my appreciation and also frustration with sumo.
All of those things.
But it is really, it's a blast. And for those who may not know what it is, you want to give them a little rundown? Like, what are they doing?
So we sorry, I'm grabbing it right now and copying it so I can give it to you in our private chat.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to the Facebook group.
There we go, right there.
Thank you.
So basically it's a fantasy sumo game where you are picking the Rikshi who will make up your Heya, your sumo stable. Yeah. And everyone picks one champion level that is either a Yokozuna or Ozeki, and one Sanyaku level that's either Komusubi Sekiwake, one upper Maegashira, that's someone who's ranked in the Maegashira 1 to 5, middle Maegashira, which is Maegashira 6 to 10, and lower Maegashira 11 to however low it goes. In this case, I think we still have an 18. And anyone, it's not exclusive. People can pick the same ones. You're trying to get your team of who you think is going to do best, and the way it's judged, the way you win is every win that someone on your team gets is a point for you, and also if they get special awards or they win the tournament or finish second in the tournament, those are bonus points. You also, so you put together your team. You also get to choose who you think is going to win and who you think is going to be one of the runner-ups, because there can be more than one runner-up. And if you get those right, you get a point. And it's just get the highest total. Highest total wins.
Yeah.
Some kind of like sumo, we have some ridiculous tiebreakers.
That's right.
Plans. And so it's just a fun competition, get you paying attention to people from the top of the banzuke all the way down. You now have reasons to watch what's going on in the action throughout the each day's matches, and yeah, it's a lot of fun, and all for no cost to you, free. And the prize is absolutely nothing except the pride of being the winner.
That's right. As I described in chat, I say if you win, you will get a personalized sack of absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's just it's for the pride of it and the fun of it.
That's
And
right.
as you said, it helps you it helps you look at the whole tournament just a little differently. It gives you something more to focus on than just who are the leaders.
Yeah, it does. It helps you focus, for me anyway, for those folks who are, new to sumo like I am, and or relatively relatively new. Because we've been doing this now for like 3 years.
Over 3 years.
Holy
We're in like 3.5
smokes.
years now.
You know what, Stan? It doesn't feel like it's been 3 years.
Time flies, my friend. Time flies.
Well, the time flies, but
in the sumo world.
I'm not bored. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like, sumo, more sumo. Like I've really, it's a test.
We've made a real sumo fan out of
You really have. You really have. And maybe this particular time around, I will be able to speak cogently about, sumo. We'll see.
Maybe.
I mean,
I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah, wish in one hand and cogent in the other, and see what fills up.
See which fills up first.
Yeah.
So the Fantasy Oyakata form that you need to fill out is up and available on Google Forms.
And the deadline is
Google Docs.
Our deadline is
the deadline is Saturday, November 8th at noon Pacific, which is about 8 hours before the tournament begins, Japan time.
And don't dilly-dally. I mean, the Stan goes to all of this work. Don't go, hat in hand at the last minute.
Who would do that?
I don't know. It really is somebody who's just not
someone who doesn't value my
they
time.
do not value your time. It's frankly, it's rude. And of course, that person,
shocking.
That person would be me. I'm the one. I'm the rude one. Everybody else manages to get it in on time. I just think so deeply about it. I just can't, I can't be.
But we've been doing this for about a year and a half. We've been doing the Fantasy Oyakata game. Maybe a little longer, but about that. And we had the most people ever last time, so it was maybe starting to get a little more traction, more people competing. It's we get a nice big list of options. It's fun to see people pick almost all the same wrestlers as you do.
Yeah.
And there's just one or two differences.
Oh, just a slight, and it just turns the whole thing around or upside down. Yeah.
Or there was one a couple of times ago where Masatadada and I picked all exactly the same. The only difference was in who we chose to be our winners and losers.
That's right. Did you swap
guaranteed we were going to be tied.
Yeah.
And then it would come down to that. So,
and it's always very interesting to see what person who underperforms, even a slight little dip in their performance, and then suddenly there's a bunch of sand in your gears. So, and also it's always amazing to see there's just kind of a zeitgeist going on out there, and people.
Everyone picks this one guy, and he does terribly,
or he cleans up. That's.
But either way, it doesn't matter because everyone picked the same guy.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really am enjoying.
It is
the Fantasy Oyakata game,
and everybody's got a good chance to win. So make sure you get in there before November 8th at noon Pacific. Myself included, and we will.
So we do this show this week to announce the banzuke and to begin the thought process for who are you going to pick. And
Yeah.
then next Friday, we'll be back with another episode where we will talk about the same. Now, having had a week to ponder it, we'll look at the same information, and you and I usually give a, a public announcement of at least some of who we're going to put on our.
Or who we're really unhappy with. I
Yeah.
think that happens quite a bit too.
Yeah.
Who-
And,
who
of course, we'll
betrayed us.
go over the news of what's come out of
Oh,
training
yeah.
as they get ready. Because
Always something to remark on.
this tournament, the name of the tournament being the Kyushu Basho, is because it's not held in Tokyo. It's held on the island of Kyushu, which is the southernmost of the main Japanese islands in the
So
city of
beautiful.
Fukuoka. Oh, yeah, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous place.
I mean, it's just absolutely the quintessential Japan. It's so amazing. Yeah.
So the wrestlers at this point are all going down to Kyushu to each of the heias has a base camp that they set up there. They're home away from home. They have one of those in each of the cities that the tournament goes to. And so very often they're in shrines or municipal buildings or
Yeah.
other.
Well, the thing I love about it is the tandem bikes that they ride around town. It's really a sight to see. It's breathtaking. See a bunch of sumo wrestlers all together on one big long bike. It's something.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic. Yeah,
Fantastical.
it's almost hard to believe. Yeah. We'll get some pictures out on that one.
So do you want to talk about the London thing before we look at the banzuke, or do you want to start with the banzuke?
Let's start with the banzuke. I think that we can dive right in there. I think everybody's probably
All right. Well, then.
they've seen London. They've seen France.
Yeah, they sure have. So if we come back here, and we've still got the Fantasy Oyakata screen up, but I can switch that out.
Swap it. Yeah.
Swap it over to the banzuke. This, of course, is from the Grand Sumo app, which is the official app from the Kyokai, the Sumo Association.
Which Stan has been a long-time subscriber to. Please don't shut our channel down.
I am a paying subscriber to this app, and we're, of course, using it without permission, but this is all public information.
It is. It's just letters, friends.
It's just so pretty. They do such a so you can get the app for free, and I highly recommend it. If you're a sumo fan, it's a great resource. But if you pay it's like $5 a month, something like that. You get more access to videos of current and old tournaments. So you can watch matches from tournaments a year or two ago. And they keep filling out with going further and further back. So it's really good. So here we go. The banzuke ranking top to bottom. And of course, at top, at Yokozuna, the highest rank in the sumo world, we have two Yokozuna.
Yeah.
Again. It's so nice to have two Yokozuna. And they are ranked in order of how they did in the previous tournament, which is Onosato won the tournament. Hoshoryu came in second. So Onosato is our Yokozuna East, and Hoshoryu is the Yokozuna West.
Yeah.
We have only one Ozeki at this point, and that is Kotozakura. So he is our Ozeki. Which means that Hoshoryu is technically ranked as Yokozuna Ozeki, because rules of sumo say there must be two Ozeki. This is not a lowering. It's purely formal.
Yeah.
It's not a real ranking or a lowering of his rank, but he will be talked about as the Yokozuna Ozeki, because we need to have two Ozeki, and Well, this year we've had several Rikshi who had shots at promotion, and they all tripped on their Mawashi.
Right, but it's kind of heating up for one of these guys, yeah?
Someone's got to make it.
Yeah.
Eventually. But the most recent one was Wakataka Kage last tournament,
Yeah,
He was our Sekiwake East, and
those wakas.
yeah, he almost everyone chose him, and he had a bad tournament.
Not the best tournament.
Look,
Yeah.
look down there, you'll see him lurking around at Maegashira 1. So he dropped 2 ranks due to his behavior last tournament. Bad behavior. Bad Wakataka Kage. Bad Wakataka.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But filling in at Sekiwake East is the Ukrainian Rikshi Aonishiki.
Yeah. Yeah.
All shooting all the way up to Sekiwake. He had another great tournament. He has not had a losing tournament since joining Sumo, or at least since reaching the top division, and I think also Juryo, the second division. He's had nothing but winning records, and
It's
he
really
is
great.
now quickest ascension to. I think he tied for quickest ascension to Sekiwake from the start of his career.
He's just got some real steady
Yeah,
sumo.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's our other friend from Ukraine he's kind of having a different experience, maybe the polar opposite, honestly.
Shishi, I think we'll see him lower down on. Yeah, well,
He's down there.
Shishi's been around longer, and
Yeah.
he had a lot of potential. Everyone was very excited for him, and he kind of got stuck, kind of reached one of those ceilings that he couldn't get past. When
Yeah.
he got to the top division, he still, it seems like he's struggling to perform well enough to excel. He's found another ceiling.
Yeah.
Aonishiki, however, came in and is just blowing the doors off everyone. We were worried about that last time when he
We
was
were.
ranked. Where was he ranked last time? He was. He was.
What was he? He was
Maegashira. Oh, no, he was Komusubi last time, right? No, he shot up to Komusubi after having a great tournament at at Maegashira 1. Yeah, he's just we've been thinking. So the main thing I'm getting here is we've been thinking, all right, he came rocketing up, and so often when these young guys come rocketing up, they get to this level and they're not quite ready to excel at the championship level. But he's come in, and he's taken everything everyone's thrown at him and
Yeah.
dished it right back and had great double-digit win tournaments. So now is the first time that I'm looking at him and going, maybe he's really here. Maybe I don't need to worry about him, and I should just count him in as one of the strong contenders for the U show.
Yeah,
And,
I'm looking. Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at his rankings, and starting. So he started. So let's see. January it was Juryo 5, then March Maegashira 15, then Maegashira 9. In May Maegashira 1,
yeah,
Komusubi, now Sekawaki, and that's quite a a skyrocketing.
right. This
Yeah,
year he's gone from second division to third highest rank in the sport, and he seems to be thriving there.
yeah, yeah.
So
Now
this
that we've
again,
said that, of course.
he's young and he's new. Then there may be some period of time where people figure him out and cause him a little trouble. But so far that hasn't been the case.
Yeah. Yeah. 90 matches, 66 wins.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's definitely on my radar more than he was prior. And yeah.
He was on my radar. I'll be honest. The last 2 times he was on my radar for. I better keep an eye on him because I'm afraid
Yeah.
that some weakness is gonna show up.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And having both of us having been hurt before, we're just a little dubious about taking on a new fan, a new favorite.
Hesitant to love again.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he's really. I mean, I just hope. Listen to me, I'm already kvetching. I really just hope that he takes care of himself. That he's like,
that he
No
doesn't have
injuries.
like Takeru Fuji, that he doesn't have some kind of injury that just sends him spiraling.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely appears to be just well put together. He's consistent and he's a good sport
He's got
and
good moves. He's got good
it
sumo
moves.
moves. And
Yeah,
that's one of the things about we were talking about Shishi, who's got he's physically built. He's clearly very skilled at wrestling and martial sports, but he seems a little clumsy when doing traditionally sumo
yeah,
style stuff.
yeah.
Aonishiki doesn't.
No, he does not. Yeah, absolutely cut from a very different cloth and fun to watch. And yeah, I mean, so here he is. We're gonna
Yep.
have to get ready to love again.
Sekiwake. So now, having just his last tournament at uh, at Komusubi, he went 11-4. He's officially on an Ozeki run,
Yeah,
really. If
yeah,
he can get 11 wins this time and 11 wins in January, he'll have his 33. And I mean, I say that like it's nothing, right? The 11 wins is really hard to do, but he's had double digit wins, I think, just about every tournament, if not every tournament in his top division. So
yeah. He's taking it by storm, and it's gonna. I mean, it is going to be some good sumo.
yeah, yes.
And
Our
you're
other second, so he's talked to Aonishiki. Our other Sekiwake is Oho. Okay, Oho.
yeah,
That's about it.
yeah.
Oho
Mhm.
he gets up into the Sanyaku and he stumbles a little, falls down a few ranks and pulls it all together and charges right back up. He's like he keeps running into the wall.
Yeah.
Falls down, shakes himself off, and then runs into the wall again. So
Right, right.
our hope is that one of these times he will
Get
have,
through the wall,
he will climb the wall
climb the
instead
wall
of
as opposed
running
to
headfirst
banging his
into it.
head against it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Our the other Sanyaku rank is Komusubi, and our two Komusubi this time are Takanosho, who's had a series of really good tournaments. Um, not he hasn't pulled together enough to really be in the Yusho hunt. Um, though I believe that he has won one Yusho in the past. Am I right about that? I don't know. It's not going to be listed on anything I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, me
Um,
either.
I believe I think he won one back about 2 years ago. Uh, and Takayasu, the former Ozeki who has never won a Yusho.
Yeah.
But he's 34 years old and is looking fit all of a sudden and making a run for it. He says he's still aiming to get back to his Ozeki rank one more time. Um, but he's been struggling. He had a Makekoshi last time, but only fell from Komusubi East to Komusubi West. I don't know if you remember at the end of the last tournament, we were talking about how they were going to figure all these rankings because the people around Maegashira 1, 2, and Komusubi just had not done great. And they were not, with Aonishiki and Oho jumping up the Sekewake, there was question about who are they going to get for Komusubi this time. Wakataka Kage did so bad, they've got to drop him too. And they did. He went from Sekiwake East to Maegashira 1 West. So he dropped 2.5 ranks. Um, but Takayasu gets to hang around one more time in his
Yeah.
Komusubi spot.
Can I
Fingers
say
crossed
too?
that he'll do good.
I'm excited for the energy that is. Listen, I mean, I much respect to the retiring folks and the sort of
Yeah,
people who are like, I will make the one last run at it.
yeah,
It's a different energy when folks are, you know,
yeah. When you can see the end of the career coming, and
yeah, yeah,
Takayasu, he, I mean, he still could stick around another few years. He probably won't be sticking around at this rank that long.
right, right.
Um, but if he can, I think his best shot of it was this year. And right now he's starting from scratch again. So he's got to put together 3 double-digit win tournaments ranked at this high, and I just don't see him doing it at this age. I hope I'm wrong, but
listen, I think that there must be, a space held for the battle tested pro. But and the reality is that there is just a different kind of energy, a different kind of conversation, a different kind of, it's a little, it will be a nice injection of sort of, rather than kind of talking about the winter of their career, we're kind of looking at more of a spring-based energy, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, my big hope for Takayasu is that he manages to get a U show before he retires. I don't at this point. I don't hold his chances of getting back to Ozeki as being realistic. But
Yeah.
I think that he won't do that until he has a bad tournament and drops down into the middle or lower part of the division, where he can have one of those, clean up on week 1, and then get in the mix and hold his own in week 2. Because he's not gonna. All of his matches this time are going to be against top of the banzuke people, and he can't handle to that. He never did. Well, that's being a little harsh, right? He has something like 6 second place finishes, but it's been a while since he had one of those.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's look at our upper Maegashira folks. We've got Hakuoho, made it all the way up to Maegashira 1. He was one of those guys we were wondering how far they could push him up based on his last performance. And I think that we called that one right. I think on our last show we were saying we figured he'd probably be a Maegashira 1, and here he is. With Wakataka Kage, our hard luck Sekiwake. Kirishima, also former Sekiwake, who had a bad tournament last time too, down at Maegashira 2 with Wakamoto Haru. You see a lot of the Rikishi have similar names. It's depending on what stable you're in, what Heia you're in. Very often there are naming conventions. So you got a lot of Fujis from the same, and you got a lot of Takas. Those are all from the same stables. But the Wakataka Kage and Wakamoto Haru, they are from the same stable, but they're also brothers.
That's right. Yeah. The Wakas are brothers.
And there's a third Waka brother who has not managed to make it. And there was a fourth one who's the third one got to Juryo. I think he may still be there. I mean, did not excel, and the fourth one even less so.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm looking it up. There are 27 Waka brothers. Huh.
That's a big family.
That's a Waka.
That's why they had to go into sumo.
Yeah, right. Then
they could beat them all.
That's right. It's some of that.
Maegashira 3, we've got Hiradomi and Ura. Ura back up here near the top of the banzuke.
All right.
I always feel sorry for him when this happens. It makes it so much harder for him to have a good tournament. The kind of tournament we want, where he's doing this weird, crazy, wild stuff. Because when you fight against the top level guys, that kind of surprise stuff very rarely works. So go Uda go, but Maegashira 3 might be a little high for him. Tamawashi, the oldest Rikishi in the top division, 40 years old.
Doing his thing, 40 years old.
Kicking butt. And Oshoma are Maegashira 4. And Yoshino Fuji and Shodai. Yoshino Fuji, probably a new name to you.
Yeah.
Because that is a new name. It's Kusuno.
I see.
Has taken on a new Shikona, a new fighting name. And he is he's from the the Heya where everyone is Fuji Isagahama Beya.
Yeah.
And there's almost everyone is something Fuji, and so he has now taken on the name Yoshino Fuji.
Got it. And then Shode.
Shodai, former Ozeki
Oh.
and piteous Seabream, Shodai had a terrific tournament last time.
He did. He
And was
really did.
rewarded with a big old, and in fact, 2 tournaments in a row, he's done really well.
Listen, this is what this guy does to us. What he does to me. I will pick him as a joker out of spite, and he will just absolutely tank and just take my score with it. And then I'll be like, I'm not going to pick him again, and he will perform like a rock star. I mean, I think he's watching. Is what I think is happening. I think this is personal.
He's watching to trying to just figure out how he will do this tournament by what you say about him.
Yeah. He wants to ruin my Fantasy Oyakata is what his whole goal is, and I'm tired of it, Shodai. I want you to stop. Just do good and always do good.
Or do bad and always do bad.
Yeah, just be consistently one thing or the other, please. Pick a lane. Yeah, that was surprising. I was not prepared for it, but of course, that's exactly what happened.
Of course. I mean, we've talked about it before, right? That's how he got his Ozeki promotion. Was he put together a great 6 months, six or 8 months of just coming in and performing to his complete potential, and then he stopped. But by that time, he was Ozeki, which meant it was very hard to get him demoted, and he stuck around for 2.5 years, taking up space at the top of the banzuke and being a pain in everyone's butt.
He's a general stinker up there. Yeah.
So I tell you what, I'm glad to see him performing better. I don't expect him to do very well here at Maegashira 5, and it's far enough away from the top that he won't have to always be fighting the top level guys. He'll get some lower level guys also, but he'll have enough. They'll pluck him up for enough matches with the higher level guys that I think that he's going to have a more average performance, and perhaps one of his he's 7-7 on the last day, and he just couldn't get that last win.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no! Whoa!
That's him. The unluckiest Seabream.
So those are our upper level Maegashira. Our mid level Maegashira is 6 to 10. We've got Atami Fuji and Onokatsu at Maegashira 6. Don't know how Atami Fuji's hips are doing these days.
Yeah.
When they're doing good, he does good. When they hurt a lot, he does not so good. Onokatsu is still working his way up the banzuke. He was Onosho's biggest rival in college days and has gone pro and he's doing terrific. If you were measuring him against anyone other than Onosho, right?
Onosho.
Yeah. He's doing fine, right? Up at Maegashira 6. This early in his professional career, he's doing good.
Just fine.
Yeah. In fact, and so we'll see whether he's got he has it in him to begin to climb up to that upper division, to the top of the top, like Onosata has. Maegashira 7, we got Shura Naomi and Abi. Abi just looked terrible last time.
Not the best. Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but there's something bugging him for sure. Like, he didn't just have a bad tournament; he looked terrible.
Yeah.
Ichi Yamamoto and Kin Bozan, the Kazakhstani Rikishi, are Maegashira 8. Ichi Yamamoto, of course, the favorite Rikishi of our good friend JJ Dumpache.
That's right.
And Midori Fuji and Tobizaru at Maegashira 9. Hopefully
Still love that.
Tobizaru is feeling better.
Yeah, yeah.
He dropped way down after having a leg injury and did pretty well last time. Midori Fuji, smallest guy in the top division, and he, I don't know. When you're the smallest guy, you've always got to be thinking up something new.
Yeah.
Because once they figure you out,
you got to scramble for the yep.
And he was scrambling most of this year. He's been scrambling, but he's done pretty well lately. So I don't know if he's found another route of performance, or if he's just been so determined that he made it. But here he is, right,
yeah,
kind of in the middle.
More, yeah, I think it's more of a pep in his step, like a little more. Yeah.
So he also is Atami Fuji and Midori Fuji are both from Shizuoka Prefecture, which is where I lived when I was in Japan. So they are my hometown Rikishi.
Nice.
I pull for them. Though they both have disappointed me. They've broken my heart. But I pull for them anyway because they're my hometown Rikishi.
That's right.
And Maegashira 10, we've got Daisho bouncing back. Daisho, I don't know if you recall, he had a Ozeki possibility and then injured himself so badly he couldn't fight in the July tournament at all and dropped way down. And in fact, he started last tournament not without having done any practice bouts, and no one was sure whether he could even compete. And he didn't look great in week 1, but by week 2, he seemed to really be warming up and getting his ring sense back. And he had a pretty dominant week 2, which allowed him to finish with a pretty strong record and get bumped up to Maegashira 10.
We just have a lot of really great threads this Basho. Really interesting. Yeah, you got some people to root for, some people to, worry about.
For Daisho, though, Maegashira 10 is still low enough that he could really dominate the people that he's going to be fighting in week 1.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a lot about him. I don't think he went on the London tour. I think he's still recovering and training. But if he's back and he's mostly healthy and he's had time to do pre-tournament practice, unlike last time, I can totally see him at Maegashira 10 being very dominant and getting himself into the Yusho race. So one to keep our eyes on.
Yeah, what are you thinking about Kota Shoho?
And Kota Shoho, who won the tournament back in July. Well, I think about Kota Shoho just what I did last time. I think that in July was one of those magical fortnights where everything went his way.
The stars aligned, and
And I mean, last tournament, getting bumped way the hell up to the top of the banzuke, he didn't do well at all, and it showed that's not who he is day in, day out.
Or at least right? I mean, he showed he has the capacity.
But we see a lot of these guys have the capacity to on any given day. Not only say that about a lot of sports, tennis and other single on any given day, anyone. So I picked tennis because I played tennis competitively as a junior, and the basic thought was that any given day, anyone in the top 50 to 100 ranked in tennis could beat anyone, even the number one. They're all that good. But most days, the ones in the top 10 are going to beat everyone below them, and
on the regular,
But if you're there in that top 50 or top 100, you have the skills, and it's the same kind of thing here. Kota Shoho has the skills to beat anyone. He showed that in July. But he's only going to unless something has changed, he's only going to fire on all of those cylinders 3 or 4 days out of the tournament. And other than that,
Yeah.
it's going to be 80% or 70% or 40% or 90%, but it's going to waffle all around. So at Maegashira 10, he certainly has. I mean, this is where he can thrive. I my gut feeling is that he's gonna probably finish with 8 or 9 wins. That he'll have a Kachikoshi here, but it won't be a big one. Um, Now let's say they're just entering the final training period, so lots to keep an eye on. But that's my gut take on it.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Then at Maegashira 11, there's our Shishi.
There's our
The
Shishi.
other Ukrainian.
He's not at the bottom anymore.
No, he was at the bottom last tournament. He had a pretty good tournament, so he got a nice
so
bump
far at the bottom that they made a new bottom spot for him.
He got so lucky.
Yeah.
He fell down a level, and they put a level down there for him to stand on.
They did. They said not quite the bottom.
You're not done yet, Shishi.
Yeah.
And he said, "Thank you very much," and took advantage of it. Here he is back up at Maegashira 11. I don't know. So we made a lot about the fact that was it in July when they made him stop wiggling his butt. He had a very weird move that pre-match ritual that was getting more and more pronounced of him sticking his hands down on the clay and his butt in the air, and he'd wiggle his butt. And the Sumo Association said that
please stop that. Yeah.
Don't do that anymore. And I think that had a really huge impact. Like the whole ritual of how you do things, and is very important in this kind of thing. It's so much a timing, right? That the tachi is you've got to be in sync, and it's not an absolute do here go. It's supposed to be this dance, this rhythm that both Ricks should get into, and his rhythm was just shattered when he couldn't wiggle his butt anymore.
I really, honestly, that is what I believe. I feel like they kind of took his mojo away for a minute, especially because he clearly came to that organically.
Yeah, there are other Richie that have had very, maybe it's not butt wiggling, but similar things.
Little rituals that you could see. I mean, whether it's the way they throw the salt or it's the all that stuff.
What was his name? He was another Koto. I don't remember his name now. But I used to call him the Penguin because he would tape his hands up and just tape his fingers up so they looked like flippers. And he was a big pusher thruster. Or he wasn't a big guy. He was middle height, but very round, and he was a big pusher thruster. But he got in this habit of right before they were getting ready to go, he'd do a big cough into his hand to kind of like get him to, and it would echo, and the crowd kind of liked it. Same way they liked Chi-Chi's butt wiggle. But the Sumo Association finally said to him, "You got to just stop." The people started saying he sounded like a seal barking, and probably a lot because he had his hands in flippers. But
yeah, we've had Richie that beat themselves up before the match, just slap themselves down. They pound their chest.
Bap, 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 bap. Ooh, ooh. They're okay with that. But the coughing and the butt wiggling, that's no good.
Yeah, the butt wiggling was a little distressing. I don't personally recall the barking like a seal, but
no, that was before you were watching.
Yeah. But anyway, you're right. I think you're right.
It was very distracting. Like right as they were getting ready to go on, it was a really big
interesting
in the stadium. And
I wonder what the strangest pre-match ritual has been.
I don't know. That would be interesting to look and see if anyone's done an article about that. If
I'm
John
looking, yeah.
Gunning, in particular, has maybe done an article about that. Because there have been some interesting ones. There have been several people over the years who've made their thing throwing a huge handful of salt.
I remember that, yeah.
The most recent one, I'm blanking on his name, but there was one back in the 90s that I remember clearly. There's another guy most recently who took that on. You know, there's Hokuto Fuji's smacking himself silly. And also he had several. He smacked himself silly, and he had that pose with the salt on his head, like he's thinking, okay, I'm ready. Yeah, there have been some good ones. All right, so Shishi is Maegashira 11, along with Rogo, also Maegashira 11. Down at 12, we've got Fujinokawa and Tomokaze, Gonoyama and Mitakeumi, former Ozeki Mitakeumi, 13, Ryuden and Toki Hayate at Maegashira 14, Nishiki Fuji and Shonan Naomi are in Maegashira.
Nanaumi. No, Shonanaumi. No.
Shonan Naomi.
Shonanomi.
2 years we can't get you to say that one
I thought we
reliably.
got it that time.
Reliably. You say it right about 40% of the time.
Right. That's my track record with most things. Yeah. Yeah.
Oshomi and Sadanomi at Maegashira 16. Chiyoshoma and Asakoryu down at Maegashira 17. And Meisei hanging out there on the very last step. Meisei is very close to retirement.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's definitely, you can see him. He's one of the older guys in the division, and you can see that his power is just not what it used to be, and it's not coming back. Still a tricky guy, got a lot of skill, very, very good wrestler, but just a year ago he was mixing it up in the middle and top of the division, and now he's struggling down at the lower part of the division. So we'll see. I want to look at something over here. I'm going to pull it over to look at Jurio, because we see that down. Look at here, Maegashira or Jurio 4 West, Asanoyama, former Ozeki. Asanoyama is getting ready to try and make an assault on the top division again. And he's been looking pretty good. He hasn't been looking. He's getting older. He's now 31. Right? I think he's 31 now. And all of this time away and all these injuries, it's all catching up to him. But he's got his eye on winning another top division tournament before he goes.
So he's 31.
I think. Is that what? Did you look that up?
Yeah.
All right. So I got it right. Yay!
You did. Yep. You got it right on the nose.
So there he is, Maegashira or Jurio 4. If he has a strong tournament, if he contends for the Jurio Yusho, there's a very good chance that we'll see him in the top division again in January.
Well, best of luck to him, and no injury, no knee injuries,
no injuries this time.
Yeah, none.
All right, so that's our banzuke, top to bottom. Got some tough choices. I think Onosato and Hoshoryu, they're both looking good. They're both fighting good. Onosato in training so far, they said that he on the London tour he managed to not lose weight. It's tough for them to keep their weight up on the road
because you're just moving and moving and moving. Yeah.
Well, and they're not eating and eat like when you training in sumo is a lot of it is about your eating schedule and making sure you get enough food in and after you eat you take a nap so it gets in there and sticks on you. So Onosato is down a few pounds and hasn't, or he didn't. He's not as far down as he was afraid he would be. He's about where he wanted to be, but he didn't get a lot of practice. He only had the matches in London, not the 15 to 30 matches a day that you do during training. So he started getting back to that, and he says to be doing good. That his lower body feels good, but his upper body he's he's fallen into his that pulling habit that he sometimes gets,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
bad, and he's got to focus on his upper body for driving forward and making sure that he's doing strongly uh, uh, forward focused sumo. Hoshodyu seems to just be cruising along being Hoshodyu.
I
He
mean, I was relieved to how he performed in the last Basho. I hear I hear he did really well in in London.
right. So let's wrap this up and then talk
Yeah,
about London.
let's see that.
A lot to talk about London.
Yeah,
So I was watching Mr. J-Wag's channel
yeah,
uh, on YouTube, and highly look up the Dohyo show, and Mr. J-Wag. He does great sumo videos and coverage. And he was talking about Hoshodyu and put his last year or so in a, a light that I hadn't looked at it before. Right? You know how I'm always saying that the knock on him is too many first week losses, and averaging about 10 wins a tournament, and that he needed to do more than that. Well, in the last year and last 14 months or so, uh, if you take out the tournaments that he was injured for part or all of, he's averaging about 12 wins a tournament, 12, 13 wins a tournament, which is what we want him to do as a Yokozuna.
yeah, yeah.
So that I hadn't noticed that, because there were the injuries that took him out for part or all of several tournaments this year.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so I wasn't connecting all those dots, because they weren't literally happening tournament after one after the other. There was a tournament and a break, and tournament and half a break, but that makes me a lot more sanguine about his uh, his status as not necessarily the junior Yokozuna. Like that, maybe we can expect what we saw this last tournament, what we saw in the Aki Basho.
Yeah.
That's what we can expect most of the time from him. Hopefully,
Yeah. I mean,
things are leaning that way.
they sure are, and yeah, he's performed. I mean, I'm looking at the list, and I'm starting. I think on this Basho, I feel like I've got a really solid lineup. I'm going to do some research, and we'll talk about it on the next show. Kind of what our individual the predictions are. But yeah, there's a lot to consider, and he is kind of top of my list.
I think that the champion level is at this point. Kotozakura is always why would you choose Kotozakura?
Yeah.
It seems like of that group, Onosato and Hoshodyu are going to be your choice.
Yeah, but Anishiki is interesting and did well against Hoshoryu.
The shift from Komusubi to Sekiwake is the big shift, is when you have to fight the Yokozunas and right, as a Komusubi, you front load that, right? That's why I always say it's the toughest ranking. Komusubi and Maegashira are one of the toughest ranks in the sport, because you've got to fight the Yokozuna and the Sekiwake and the Ozekis in the first 4 or 5 days of the tournament.
Yeah.
And then you've got to somehow turn it around and have a good second week. Well, it's a sekiwake. You don't. You're supposed to fight them at the end of the tournament, which means the front of your tournament is there feeding you the people from below to excel against. So that's um, that points very well for Alan Ishii.
Yeah, agreed. And now that we've said that, we have clearly unleashed the curse, and he will.
Right. Well, yeah, no. I mean, this is still our looking at it. We haven't made any decisions, but I'm
Yeah,
looking at him, and I hadn't picked him on either of his previous tournaments.
And
But
we were
I'm thinking I might go with him. I think he might be the strong choice in the Sanyaku section.
Yeah, agreed. And he's just fun to watch. Also, have you noticed that he looks like he dresses like a Jedi?
They all dress like Jedi.
No, he's very particularly. He looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like he's I'm gonna pull the picture up and show you.
Roy, that's because he's white.
And I think too that the way that they might have done him a little dirty on this picture, because he really does. It's the. I'll show you. Hang on, let me share this. I looked at it and I was just like, live long and prosper, dude. That's the right one, isn't it?
That's not the right one.
All right, here he is. Let's see. I'm gonna bump you for just a second.
Okay.
Share. And where are you at, buddy?
Are you gonna bump me?
I'm gonna try.
Oh, you bumped me.
Yeah. Look at that guy. That is.
Well, now that's just the colors, right? Those are Tatooine colors.
It's the colors and the space stuff all around him. The the midichlorians or whatever, and I mean, come on, he looks just absolutely. Let me resize this just to make it a little bit more visible. I mean, that's full. All he's missing is a lightsaber.
You know what? I see what you're saying, but being as familiar of seeing these guys wearing that outfit, that's the outfit that every one of them wears to the kind of situation where that photo would have been taken. That's just that's the traditional garb. And that's what Lucas, the designers at Lucas, built the Jedi gear around it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing too. I mean, I like the look.
And
it
he's
looks
a
great.
white guy.
Yeah, I mean, I just want him to boldly go where no Rikishi has gone before, and
a long time ago,
in the
top division, far, far away,
in the Mawashi, far, far away.
Yeah.
Right. Promising.
So, having looked at that, I want to switch here, and I'm going to switch out, and we're going to look at You're My Favorite Thing, Fred Pink.
Yeah, Fred Pinkerton.
Go ahead.
At fredpink.com. He does a great breakdown of, so I love this so much because if you look at the shape of it, we kind of cracked the code on this early when we were looking at Fred Pink stuff, and you can pick it up yourself at fredpink.com. He's there, and you can check out his concerts that he's been to, all kinds of good stuff. Oh, and some other where people are at in age and weight and height, and it's very fascinating, and it's a great resource. So I highly recommend you head over to fredpink.com and grab you some of this stuff. And the ascensions and the drops of these folks, these Rikishi, is just fascinating. Yeah. And you can really, there are these ebbs and flows, and you can kind of see when there's a stable sort of thing going on up top by those lines that just kind of connect from one to the other, and then when it doesn't, and you can just see the precipitous drops and people kind of bouncing around like, I don't know, like like a a nuclear collider or something, but it's very fascinating, and I highly recommend. And what we've done in the past too is we've lined up a lot of the bashos like this, and just we're able to kind of say, oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's what we were talking about, the
So
gear shift era, the
yeah. So what's really interesting to me in this one? Look at the number of people who have almost straight lines across. Like
yeah,
straight red lines. Straight red dotted lines mean they were Makekoshi.
yeah,
And so we
that's
got
interesting.
Pim Bozon, who is Maegashira 8 West and is still Maegashira 8 West. Midori
Hmm.
Fuji, Maegashira 9 East, still 9 East.
It's
Roga,
unusual, isn't
11 West, still 11 West. Shonan Naomi kept his rank at 15 West.
it? Normally
Even
what we're looking at
Kagayasu, who it looks like it's a little down, it's a half step down. Komasubi
yeah,
to Komasubi, which at that level, usually if you have a Makekoshi, you drop out to make room for someone else. But there wasn't
right.
a lot of people that it made sense to bump up that high.
Am I seeing
So,
Gono Yama as the most precipitous fall?
that is the steepest, but
Yeah.
he was 1 in 14. So
Yeah, right. Yeah. That was tough.
um,
That was tough. But no, that's really interesting, Sam. I don't know that I've seen that as a theme, or at least not,
no, you
we
don't
talk
see that a lot. Usually there'll be 1 or 2, like Oho did it the time before. Look at the one from July to September. There's really
Mhm.
only 1. Roga only fell 1, but that's all right. That's only fallen 1 is 7 and 8 is about it right. But Oho
Sure.
stayed from Maegashira 2 East. He only lost half a step to Maegashira 2 West. Um,
Now, when looking at that, are we seeing the disposition of the association, or are we seeing, like, what is that an indicator of beyond? Of course, there's performance, and and how you're winning and stuff, but the decisions are made influenced by performance, and then kind of
yeah.
ratified with a whole bunch of other
Yeah,
math and
and a
stuff, right?
lot of it is trying to put together the most competitive banzuke.
Yeah. Okay.
So that falls into it a lot.
Yeah.
If this person drops and this person goes up, what's going to
What's
happen?
yeah? What is the organism that we've
Yeah,
created? Is it going to be more
and
fun or more
sometimes,
enduring?
in fact, very often, it makes sense for one person or so to not do, like Shishi not dropping down. We talked about that between May and July when he dropped, or no, from July to
Yeah.
September, where he was 7 and 8 at the very bottom, and he still winds up at the very bottom,
Yeah. Yeah.
but not dropping out of the division. Um,
Yeah,
so
there was somebody pulled some, reconstructed and
yeah,
counted in, and yeah.
but a lot of that has to do with who is how many. So we look at Shishi there in particular. The next 5 people above him are people that came up from Juryo. So the question then becomes: is Shishi better to keep in that spot than the 6th best guy in Juryo for on the
Right.
promotion
Yeah.
scale? The answer in that case was yes, and thank goodness for Shishi. He's
I mean,
got,
yeah. I'm honestly, I'm glad that he's still kicking up in the upper levels there. But I also think just another curious fact about the shadowy
the shadowy
organization that
organization.
runs sumo.
That's right.
What are they up to? Why are they hiding the
Yeah.
truth? Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, no, this one I was very surprised when I looked at the at this Banzuke at how many of those straight across the line people.
Yeah, that is very, very interesting. Maybe at some point we used to do the between the boss shows, but maybe before the tournament is over, we take a look at the kind of the long, the side by side of all of the last couple
Of the
years or
whole
something.
year?
maybe I mean, we could do 6 months or something, and sort of see what it all looks like. I'm just curious as to kind of mostly I want to kind of be able to look back on our kind of reflecting back on what we would call, we would sort of have reactions to certain eras, or
I
we would,
mean,
call it the gear
so
shift era, and it's
the
we don't
thing
talk about
is,
that as
this as little as this looks like condensed, this is 4 months right here. So 6
yeah,
months is
yeah.
only one more row in this.
That's right. That's
So,
right. So no, we would want to. Yeah, I
yeah,
think
no,
I
Fred.
want to look at the whole year.
So
Yeah,
here's the thing. Here's what I'm thinking. And we talked a little bit about this in our production meeting last week.
yeah,
The last few years we have had a year-end show
yeah.
that has been very poorly attended. I'm going to tell the audience right now, you're you're not you're not doing it. You're not showing up for our year-end show.
That's
Um,
right. It's the big one.
but
It's the
that
big,
would
yeah.
be the place to pull together a year
Yeah, I
start
think so. I think
and
so. That's
maybe try to do, I don't know, try to put together a couple of, like, this past year and a year before, and
Yeah, and maybe just to kind of look at the data in a
yeah,
more a graphical way,
yeah.
not graphic, but just to kind of just to do some deep
And
uh,
maybe
evaluation.
you could drop a line to Fred.
Yeah,
I can cut and paste. It always looks a little funny, but if he could put together those, something that would be easy for us to
yeah,
execute.
we'll send him a note. He's a friend of the show and a great guy.
Yeah.
Mails us directly, and we really appreciate him. I bet he'll be able to kind of whip something together in a interesting. Maybe that's what we'll do then. Maybe our end of year show then becomes a review of the end of year analytics.
Yeah. Um, and it will be interesting because it'll look like this, but the November will have numbers, but no new ranking. So we'll be able to
Yeah.
look at it, and maybe that could be the game we play. He
Oh, I
is
like it.
is
Yeah,
just predicting what the next banzuke is going to be with all that data sitting right in front of us.
absolutely. I love it. And it really does illustrate sort of the ebb and the flow and the rise and the fall. And I think it'd be fun also to just kind of see who's ranked up the most,
Yeah,
drops, like
yeah.
in ranks, and who's stayed, kind of solid. I think I also really do want to sit down and kind of take a look at this in the context of Fantasy Oyakata too, just to see if there's threads there to be. I'm looking for anything, any port in the
Yeah.
storm,
All
anything at
right,
all.
so
Maybe,
let's see. Another thing I want to talk about, if you look all the way on the right-hand side of this, in the
hmm
middle of the first column,
yeah,
there's a short little name named Endo,
yeah,
who went 0-15 and dropped down to Jurio.
yeah,
Endo retired this week. Endo
yeah,
handed in his retirement papers. He went 0-15 because he'd hurt his leg and he couldn't participate in July, and he put off having surgery and then decided not to have surgery and thought he'd come back anyway, and it just wasn't happening. And so he's put in his retirement papers. He is now, I think they've been accepted now. He's officially an Oyakata, like us,
yeah,
only real.
yeah. Only
And
real, yeah,
so another terrific, really terrific Rikshi um, who was the young hotness when I started
yeah,
back watching. Well, I mean, I started watching in the '90s, but when I discovered the YouTube access, it let me start watching again in 2015. Endo was one of the hot, young, good-looking, everyone loved him guys, and he had a very up and down uh, career. And he never
fastest
excelled the way
rise.
everyone wanted him to.
Yeah, yeah. He had the fastest rise to the top of the Makuuchi division, and then also he in July of 2013 he had a 14-1 record.
Yeah,
I mean, that's incredible. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. He's got look at it. Okay, so this is interesting. So I'm looking at his background. He's gotten 6 special prizes,
Yeah.
fighting spirit, outstanding performance, and then 4 technique prizes.
Mhm.
He's earned 7 kimboshi. That's
7 kiboshi.
interesting. I mean,
That's in the era of Hakuho.
when it was hard to get. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not now when they're just like, Super Mario handing out stars in your,
Just jump up and hit your head on the Yokozuna and you can get a star.
and he just starts farting stars for you. Yeah. Let's see.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Oh, he was an that's great. He was a successful amateur. Interesting. He was, so he was a pretty successful, highly successful amateur sumo
Yeah,
wrestler in
and very
university.
similar to Onosato.
Yeah, yeah. And then the knee injuries, but people still love him, and he's still young. You know what I mean? It's just not in the context of
Relatively
sumo.
speaking, what he's like 29?
Yeah, it's not super old. So that always bothered me a little bit, just but honestly, it's such a grinder.
Yeah, it's a tough
It's
sport.
great for him that he's getting out when he is, and I'm looking forward to his noodle shop or car, or Chunko stand or whatever.
No, he's not going into the restaurant business. He's going to be an
He's
Oyakata.
he's got some elder stock.
Yep.
Nice.
In fact, there's another guy who had been borrowing his elder stock, who very quickly announced that he was leaving the Sumo Association, which was the heads up that
Oh,
everyone got that Endo was about to retire. Because
oh,
this
I
other guy
see.
had been borrowing the elder stock to stay in, and then announced, "Oh, I'm going, and and he's opening a restaurant.
He's opening up
He's,
a noodle
he's
stand.
opening a
Wow.
restaurant, and Endo's
Yeah.
sticking around."
Interesting. So he called he called back his
He called in
the
his
elder
marker.
t-shirt.
That's
Yeah, called in his marker. Yeah.
that's the way it works with the elder stock. There's only so much
Very
of it to go
interesting.
around. The rikshis secure it as early as they can, and then they rent it out until
That's
they want to use it.
fascinating.
And so,
That's very
yeah,
fascinating.
so they get paid for the use of their elder stock, and then when they want it back, they say, "Okay, well, I'm taking it back now." And the
And the
very often
churn,
they give the guys some amount of time to try and find another deal to make. And
yeah.
you'll sometimes see this horse trading where Oyakata names are getting traded back and forth.
Yeah, it's sort of like a leave a Oyakata, take a Oyakata
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
situation, right? Yeah.
Very much so. All right, so we've been going about an hour and 20 minutes. We
Yeah, I
haven't
feel like
talked about London. You want to talk
London.
about that
Yeah.
a little bit before we wrap up?
Just a little. It's just funny to me.
We can
The
take that
theater of it all.
off.
The
So
theater
you
of
know
it
what
all.
I was saying before, that there were some videos that I posted to the YouTube, and one of them was specifically about the London
Uh,
tournament. And was it real or was it theater? It was videos by Scott Findley, who is a big. Uh, he had a very active channel a couple of years ago called World of Sumo. Scottish guy, pretty thick Scottish accent. You may want to put on the subtitles if you struggle with that kind of thing.
yeah,
Um, but he did a very thoughtful and clear explanation of what the London tournament was and what it wasn't, and why this question of were the matches fixed? Were we seeing real sumo or not real sumo?
yeah.
And he did a really good job explaining that. So I
Oh,
think
we have to check that out. No, we posted that on Facebook.
yeah, so
Is that
the
what you're saying?
Facebook group. If you look up World of Sumo on YouTube, you'll find him also. Definitely a big recommendation on that too. I love Scott's stuff. Um, he's got a really super enthusiastic, infectious personality and love of sumo. He's
Awesome.
not been posting recently a lot because he's been very involved in promoting sumo in the UK. The he hosting this a amateur basho in Scotland and joining with the and then from there he got put in charge of all of the of British uh, um, sumo, and now he's involved organizing. There's going to be another big amateur tournament, I think, early next year in Ireland. That's going to be all of the British Isles, big sumo tournament. So,
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
super
I
fascinating guy.
that's awesome and great. It's so great to see. I love it when a someone who's a fan and has a deep love of the sport
Yeah,
gets to be a part of making it happen.
and it's so great to hear all the sumo stuff being said in that really thick Scottish accent.
I'll have to check that out. Awesome. Yeah.
Um,
So,
Go ahead.
my understanding in our conversation and just kind of perusing lightly what people were talking about, like on Reddit in the sumo subreddit, it was enjoyable. Nobody really is, but it was also light. It was sumo light. Some people are calling it. They feel like it was, but they're not. Nobody's disappointed.
No,
Like there's not anybody kind of raising a stink about it.
there's there are several different layers of exhibition sumo, right?
Yeah,
Some of them are really just a show, and some of them are kind of it's more like sparring, right? No one's going to try that hard. No one's going to hurt themselves over it. Uh, and, and this, while it was listed as a tournament and it was played as a tournament, and there was money to be won.
yeah,
Um, it was not. It did not affect rankings. This was part of the Jungyo. This was an exhibition stop.
yeah, yeah,
It was done to promote sumo to an international audience. So
yeah,
um, there were very much were decisions about uh, uh, decisions behind the scenes about who would win the whole tournament. Uh,
yeah,
the neither one of the Yokozuna were pushed terribly hard in their matches. Like the Yokozuna not being shown to lose a match was said to be very important. And Chris Sumo also did a video comparing this London tournament to the London tournament in 1991 and how many very similar storylines were played out, and even so much as matches of it. This Rikishi is like that Rikishi from 30 years ago, and they
yeah.
had a match just like this guy did against someone who filled the same role. So there's a lot of storyline going on. But that having been said, there also was a lot of hard training sumo, right? I don't think that every match was 100% fixed. I think that they certainly were giving their all to, well,
Yeah, they're giving a good
they were
show.
trying hard. They weren't trying as hard as they do in a tournament where rankings are on the line,
Right,
right? I don't think you saw any. I doubt you saw any really hard head conk tachi eyes.
right.
And that might be the spot where you would see the biggest differences in the tachi eyes. And then once someone got a grip on someone, they didn't fight and throw them to the ground. There's kind of an admission or an understanding of, all right, well, you've got me now, so we'll do this little dance, and
Yeah,
you'll give me a chance to look good before you beat me.
right.
Um, so, but one of the points that Scott makes is to understand what this was. Right, it wasn't a competition for improving your spot on the banzuke. It was a spotlight on everything that sumo can be.
Yeah.
Um,
Showing off, athletic
yeah,
prowess, but maintaining the the kind of hierarchy and all of those bits and pieces, which is an important part of sumo. I mean, it's very. So I don't begrudge him that, but it's interesting, and I would be surprised if anybody really was like, "Ah, shucks," I mean, like, it
Yeah.
just feels like it is what it is, and just enjoy it.
There was one match that the one of the shows you do for Green Ronin on
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago, uh, where the co-host with you that week was sumo knowledgeable and was asking about a particular Ura match.
Yeah,
Where,
yeah. Something ended a
um,
little oddly.
yeah, I think it was Ura, and I think it was even Ura Aonishiki.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
And um, they they got wrapped up near the edge, and Aonishiki had him pushed back, and they were doing kind of the hand grappling thing, and Aonishiki made a good move to step and pull on the arm, which is something you see all the time. Now, usually, what you'd expect is for Ura to kind of resist or to get pulled flat on his stomach. But what he did was this midair somersault, which we've seen him do that in competition too,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So it's not impossible, but this was a really weird. Like, it wasn't that good a grip to have done
Yes,
that.
that's right, that's right. He
Um,
didn't move
it,
him with his
it was a
mind.
great
Yeah,
move,
yeah.
and it looked fantastic. But Aonishiki was going to win that match. I I think that the ending, that particular move, was a very showman-like move
Yeah,
rather than a flop on your belly move.
right, yeah, you just juicing it up a little bit before he had
Yeah,
to lose.
I would not, having watched that match a few times, I would not be surprised if it turned out that they weren't sure what was going to happen there, but they were sure that once a certain point in the match
Yeah,
was reached, the guy that was on the short end of it was like, "All right, well then you'll win it."
yeah, yeah,
Right. I was telling you that, again, to go back to tennis, um, in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, there were a lot of exhibition before there was televised tennis every week in a tennis channel. There was a lot of exhibition matches where the top guys would go around and play each other a
right.
number of, just each night in a different town. They'd play a best 2 out of 3 sets, and the word among the inside crowd was that that basically they decided that they didn't want to wreck themselves. These were not,
Yeah,
again, kind of like this. They were not competitive. They were for entertainment. So the word was that they would play the first match and they would play that for real. But whoever won the first set would win the second set. the, the the guy who lost the first set would not dig in and fight tooth and claw,
right,
and the guy who won the first set would make sure that the other guy in losing didn't look like a schlub.
right.
And so you would see one set of actually competitive tennis and one set of entertaining but predetermined tennis.
And back in the day, you really don't see it as much as you used to back then. But lots of somersaults, lots of cartwheels right out of the
Right, right.
lots of "oops, I swallowed the ball" kind of moments. Yeah, that's all for show.
Over the net, back over the net, over the net. It was great.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I feel like we've got a lot of
Come to
stuff
a
to
good
think
spot.
about. Yeah, friends, you got some things to think about too. Don't forget to jump into chat to get your link to the Kyushu Basho Fantasy Oyakata. And
Fantasy Oyakata.
we and it will be yeah, we'll be back on Friday next Friday.
Friday next week.
Yeah,
Same time, same sumo channel.
that's right. Also,
And
for those of you who are in the States or are feeling particularly spooky, a happy Halloween. Hopefully, it was all nice and safe. And it's Friday night. Very rare that I mean, it's not often that Halloween lands on a weekend. Beginning of the weekend,
yeah,
but we're doing sumo because that's what we do.
yeah. We're dressed. That's my costume. Dressed as a sumo expert.
I'm wearing a little wizard hat as right now. That's got a bucket hat brim made for me by someone that brought it to me at Gen Con. So yeah, pretty fun.
So we'll be back next Friday, and we'll go over all this again and tell you what we think.
That's right.
About the Fantasy Oyakata. What we're thinking.
Our opinions will have
in the meantime.
Yeah.
Don't let that stop you from going. You can always adjust your choices on this Fantasy Oyakata.
That's right.
When you fill it out, you'll get an email. Save that email, because with that link, you'll be able to go back and reselect. Because if you go and put in a second entry, I'll be mad at you because you're going to my work.
You're just ruining the math.
I will be mad at you.
Yeah, he'll be
and I'll get my revenge somehow.
Yeah, and he'll do it too. But also, yeah, I like to make my changes right about mid-Basho. Just kidding. It's all on the up and up. Yeah.
Well, with so much on the line.
I know. Yeah, we can't afford to be. We can't be dilettantes. We've got to knuckle up. All right. So, but I'm feeling like I'm feeling.
You got some drums.
I feel like I've got some drums. It's time to, all the indicators are there that it's time to go.
You have been listening to The Sumo Show, a live podcast about the art and sport of sumo. Your hosts tonight have been Stan Brown and Troy Hewitt. Production by Troy Hewitt. Sommeliering by Stan Brown. And initial charge by Touchy-Eye Troy. So until next Friday, we say to you, Ja matane!
Bye.